train wreck.
Today we're going to build the ultimate train of destruction. We're going to build a train wrecker. That's right, a train wrecker. Yes, a train wrecker. It's going to wreck the other train. We're going to put two trains on a track and we're going to head them towards each other and we're going to see which one can survive. If they both survive, we'll see which one can get past halfway. Let's do it. Here's some more rules and tips on how to make your train. So coding for your train is going to be pretty straightforward because we're just going to travel in a straight line. You could do some fancy things if you like, but basically you're going to have one motor. So you could just say at the starter level, you can set the speed of your motor. It's good to have that option at the start. 75% is probably a good starting speed anyway. And then we could just say start motor, and it could just keep going and going and going. That's not such a bad thing. Or you could set the number of rotations, and if you want to be safe, you might say something like 999 rotations. That should get you to the end of the track, no problem at all. But we have got a color sensor involved, and I think it's easiest just to have another stack or stacks for the color sensor. So if you have a block like this, when the color is red, if your sensor's plugged into maybe B, because your motor's plugged into A here, it's just got to be different, doesn't it? When it sees red, you can make a sound, maybe. So you can choose sound. You can even click on here and add sounds and choose train. And there's lots of train sounds you could choose, like a whistle or something like that. And you can even speed it up or slow it down or make it louder, whatever you like. And once you save it, whenever it sees red, it'll play that train whistle if you select it there. So you could do a stack like that. You can even do another one for a different color. So when it sees, if you've got different color bricks, maybe if it sees blue, you could do a different sound. So maybe you could say train, and we could do train horn maybe, and then it will play that sound when you choose, when it sees blue. Another cool thing you can do is if it has a crash, you can make a sound. So if it's tilted, if the whole hub is tilted, the gyro sensor kicks in. We could go tilted this way. The train falls off the track and gets tilted that way. Or you could even say anyway. Okay, if it's tilted, then you're going to play a sound. Or, yeah, there's lots of things you can do. You can do lights. You could make a message come up. Or you could do a sad face on here. You could do sad. Make it sad if the lights, if it gets tilted, that face could come on the screen, and you can even make a sound, wobble. That might be good. Okay, so if it falls off, it makes a wobble sound. Okay, so that'll get you from one end to the other, and if it sees those colours, it'll make those noises. If it falls off the track, it'll make that sound and make a sad face. But I mean, you can code it any way you like. The main goal is to get the other one to fall off, so you can go faster or even slower. Sometimes people think slower vehicles are better because they grip a bit more. But you can experiment with the speed. It's time to pause the video now so you can see the rules and some coding examples, or hang around to see the teacher instructions. So if you're using a piece of wood instead of Duplo track, the main difference is you're going to be able to use two motors instead of one to move your train. So when the program starts, we're going to select set the movement motors, and these are the ports where you're going to plug your motors into. I might choose C and D. I often choose C and D. So the movement motors, the motors that are going to move your train, go into C and D, and then you might want to set the speed. It could be something like 75%. You can decide how fast you want your train to go. Some people think a slower train is more reliable, but you do want to try and get past halfway first, so you might need to experiment and use some trial and error with the speed. And you're just going to say start moving, and then the train will start moving as soon as you press play. Now these are similar to the Duplo track options. So you plug your light sensor into port B. If it sees red, it might play a sound, which you can actually search for sounds within the app if you haven't done that before. If you search, now it has all the different train sounds you can use. So you can play a different sound when it sees different colors, and even use the gyro sensor block. So when it's tilted in any direction, a face comes up on the screen, a sad face, and it plays another sound. So you can experiment with the lights and things on the face of the hub. But basically I just use this block here when it's tilted, and then I chose this one here, which means if it's tilted in any direction, up or down, you can do left or right or up or down, or you can do any direction. So if it has a crash, it's going to play a sound. Okay. that's pretty much it to get your train to go to the other end. Don't forget, if your train's going backwards, you can change that arrow there. Or what I do is, on my robot, I swap the cables around C and D, and that usually makes the train go the other way. So have fun. It's time to pause the video now so you can see the rules and some coding examples, or hang around to see the teacher instructions. So I guess the first decision you've got to make is, can I get a hold of some Lego Duplo train track? And I think for this activity it's best just to stick to the straight pieces, because if you've got a straight track, then it's far less complicated to build a train that can travel along it. So go for a straight track, don't use the curved pieces, and just put out as many as you like. You can make it as long as you like. Probably the longer the better. But there's other thing you've got to mark is sort of a halfway point, because the goal is to knock the other train off, but if you don't knock it off, then you've got to try and get past halfway for 5 seconds. But if you don't have any train track, then you might like to use a piece of timber. So a long piece of wood will probably do the job just as well as train tracks. The wheels might even travel along the floor either side of the timber, but it should work well. It's good if the kids measure how wide the timber is, and they can measure how wide the gauge of their train can be. So you can have a wide piece, which is a pretty wide piece for 2 wheels to be apart with 1 motor, or you could use a thinner piece. Any piece of wood would be fine. You probably want to mark a halfway point and maybe have a start line where they have to start behind for each end as well. So the setup's pretty straightforward. Find some Duplo track or a long piece of timber, and let the kids measure it and see if they can build a train that fits and can battle. If you scroll down to the description of all my lesson videos, underneath the table of contents there's some free resources that you can use with your kids, including some spreadsheets you could use for scoring, for example. This particular one is like a knockout competition where you can enter kids' names and select the winners. But I've got other score sheets as well. I've got score sheets that involve like a table, like a ladder. So have a look underneath the description, including student reflection sheets and other things. And check this playlist out if you want to see more of my lessons. I've got heaps. Or this video where I made an autonomous train.